All right, so it is Monday. It is Memorial Day. I hope everybody had a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend. Hope you got to spend time with family and loved ones and do things that are important to you, and remember those that gave everything so that we could be here. So this has worked out pretty well for me weather-wise. Originally, before I realized that I had a long weekend this weekend, because I didn't know at first, Sunday would have been a full washout. I don't know how I would have been out here. As a matter of fact, the first half of today, it's about noon or 1 o'clock right now. It rained even harder than yesterday, so it's been raining for a day and a half straight. The bees have been all locked up. I imagine when I get to splitting all the hives today, they've already been pissy, so I imagine that they're going to be even more pissy today. So I'm definitely gonna put my latex gloves on top of these cotton ones right away. I'm not gonna wait and get stung through the finger like I did the other day, and it swelled up around my wedding ring. And yeah, that was fun getting off. By the way, these help if you do wear latex gloves. These are super thin cotton gloves, so they have a cotton backing. They have a latex front. They're very, very, very thin. These actually are really good when you wear the latex on top of them, because if you've worn the latex gloves before for any length of time during any warm temperatures, you know that your hands pretty much turn into a swimming pool. So yeah, highly recommend wearing some sort of cotton unders if you're going to do the latex gloves. They help me out a lot. Your hands are still going to sweat, but at least they're not swimming against that, excuse me, not latex, nitrile. Anyway, today I'm going to be making all the splits up. Now, I've done some walkaway splits in this yard as well. And then when I was prepping the hives for splits the other day, I went ahead and pulled up all the frames that I want to use for today's splits, made sure the queen was down below, and then put a queen excluder on. So now I can just kind of grab those boxes and go. One of those boxes I'm going to be splitting probably 4 ways, because I think they swarmed on me. I think that's the one that had the tiny little virgin queen on it. I left myself a note on my painter's tape. I'm not sure which one it was. I did find a virgin queen in one of them that I think might have swarmed. I think that's the box. So I'm going to split that up 4 ways and make use of 4 of my cells. I only had a 50% take, as you saw earlier on this. I got about 15 out of my 30 cells. I should be able to do everything that I want to do with those 15. If I need more, I can make more. If I want to split more, I can just do walkaway splits. That's the good thing. We get options, right? So the first thing I'm going to do before I start moving boxes and splitting, though, is I'm going to go back into my cell builder and make sure I still have 15 viable queen cells.
This is Blackwater Honey Forge, named in part after the Blackwater River we live near in central New Hampshire, and in part after the master craftsmanship of honeybees. This is a place for learning, discussion, and to practice the art of beekeeping. Welcome to the journey. Be well and forge on.
All right, so let's check my cell builder and make sure everything looks as it should. Make sure the queens aren't hatched, that the cells are ripe, that everything looks like it's good to move into new homes. All right, ladies, how about I go grab my smoker? Yeah, this dumb beekeeper. Population looks good. They're definitely feisty. But again, I expected that. A day and a half of rain. It's finally nice and sunny out right now. It's going to be up to 70 today. The last couple of days were in the 50s. I got some webbing. Oh yeah, nice ripe cells. There we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. All right, well, so I got 14 of them. Whether I counted wrong before or whatnot, no. I do have a holder for them, but this is actually going to be the last part I'm going to do is move cells. So I'm actually just going to put them right back in the hive for now and get to moving boxes. Yep, 14. So this is what we're looking at right here. I've gone ahead and set up all of these boxes. I do actually just have my my feeder in the standard outside position. I have 3 foundations in every one of these, and I'm going to be going ahead and, depending on the splits that I pull from, some are 2, some are 3. So if I'm doing 3 splits out of 1 box, I'm going to be backfilling with a couple of extra frames as well. But I'll be able to bring the box over here, set it up on a ladder, pull what I want out for frames, boom, 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 close it up, same down the line. And then I'll come back in a little bit afterwards, give them all feed, and then open up the entrance. Found the hive that's queenless all throughout. Try to move you guys all as close as possible. I am not one of those one-handed beekeepers on YouTube that can work and do all the things they need to do with one hand and hold the camera in the other. If you're one of the people that do that, or you watch one of the people that do that, hats off to them, veils off to them, all the things on my head off to them, because those people are acrobats. They're amazing. I'm not amazing. I will drop everything. I am a klutz. All right. So the first hive I have on the tape here, I'm going to get 3 out of this, but it also says give the bottom a cell. The bottom must have looked a little weak for whatever reason. Kind of doing this without smoke at the moment. Go ahead and move this right over to the ladder. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab my smoker. What I really like on this box as well is a really nice strong population covering all the frames. So the bees came up great over the last day and a half and covered all of the frames accordingly. And now I just got to go through and find my 2 frames of fruit, 2 frames of brood and a frame of food, or a mix of that, where they have enough resources and enough population to support the brood that I give them. Nope. So pretty much just going to be a quick little juggling act as I get the correct resources into the correct hives, and then backfill with any foundations or drawn frame or drawn comb that I might have. So looking at that real quick, I already know that that's a food frame. So I'll give them the food. The next one should also be a food frame, so I'll give a food frame to the next one. Actually, that's a huge brood frame. I'll just go ahead and do that right here. Brood. This is also a huge brood frame. So I'm just going to move this one up. Brood. More brood. I'm trying to keep the brood in the middle. And the food frames I'll actually end up sandwiching closer right up to the brood as well. That way they don't have to travel far to get their own food. Oh, look at that. So, I messed up on this one. I'll show you why. Let me come show you. But this is why it's good to keep your eyes out. See what I see? Hi, lady. So she's been up here. Guess I got some extra eggs in there. So I'm going to take this queen excluder right off and drop her right off on the top. Guess I don't need to give a cell to the bottom now. So the other day, if it was taking me a very long time to find the queen, I just kind of moved along and moved on. So, back to food. Food. Brood. Brood and food. Brood and a little bit of food. And this last one should be food, which it is. I'm gonna go ahead and give that to these ladies right here. Now I do have my frame feeder in here as well, so I'm actually not working with a full 10 frame box. I actually only have 8 frames. So these splits that I'm making right here, they probably look a little on the small side, and I think that they are kind of, but there's enough sustenance in these that when I give them a cell, I'm really thinking this will all work out. Are they going to be the biggest gangbuster colony to come right out of the box? No, probably not. But I'm trying for numbers, so to get my numbers up, I am making a little bit of some thin splits. I guess at the end of the day, we're going to find out if that works for me or not. Transfer some feed over. There is a lot of extra bees in this box, and I'm going to give that this colony right here. There we go. And then I'll move this over to make use of if I have enough resources. And I'm gonna go ahead and move that over. I got to backfill with, I have a good amount of drawn comb around, so I'm gonna put the drawn comb in, and like I said, I'm gonna let them chill out for a minute. And as I go through this process, and as it takes me an hour or 2 hours, these ladies are gonna recognize, crap, we're queenless. And then when I open them back up again and I introduce a queen cell to them, they're gonna go, oh, thank God. We already made a queen cell, we're good. Man, we're fast, we're awesome. So, giving them a moment to realize that they're queenless, and then introduce them. Some people probably wait an entire day. I don't really think that's necessary. I think they're going to recognize that they're queenless much quicker than that. So as I mentioned, drawn comb at the ready. Not all of it's going to be drawn. Some of it actually has resources in it. That is an ugly frame. Like that, mostly empty, a little bit of drawn comb. Gives them something to work with. This little metal ladder that I have behind me here, man, this is an invaluable tool. Also, little magnetic belt clip. I know a lot of people probably don't have a belt clip with a utility pouch on it. Hold some of my markers and stuff like that. I get a queen clip up here, and man, the metal clip, that's awesome. It's nice to be able to just, if my hands are kind of full and I don't have a lot of range of movement, boom, done, secure. Here's your fashion tip for the day. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, put on a cover. Put on a cover. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it just like this, just so I can double make sure that I don't forget to drop in a cell. Because, you know, I'd never forget anything, right? So I know I'm jumping all around the frame here, but grabbed a box, just turned 1 hive into 4 hives. And now, what I'm gonna be doing with this hive that's back here, let's go ahead and move us over there. And I'll show you what I got for these girls. It's a medium. I'm going to be turning them into a 1.5 hives. I got their replacement frame feeder in here. I got a drone comb and mostly foundation with heavy wax in all of these boxes. So this is going to be a reduction on swarm impulse. But the drawback is now they're going to have to fill this box up before I can get honey production out of them. So hence why I have the two frame feeder as well. Going to give them a ton of light syrup and going to help them fill this box right out. Same thing. My God, that Reflectix is blinding. I don't even need to look into the sun. The sun is looking up at me. So, you get the idea. Just turned one hive into 4 hives. Now I'm going to rinse and repeat down the line. And then eventually I'm going to go ahead and drop a cell in, get everybody all fed, open up all the entrances, and I'll see if I show you any more of that process along the way. But I will, because at the end of this, we got to do a hive count. Started this year with 10 hives. What do you think we're going to end up with? I've been saying about mid-30s all season. That was my goal. I didn't get as good of a take as I wanted, so let's see where we're at. It is chaos out here, but kind of pretty neat. So I'll get everything all just split all to hell at the moment. The bees have no idea what the hell's going on. I need to go ahead and put my queen cells, oh great, in my little queen cell holder. They got all messed up. But basically I have the little queen cell protectors that I'm going to be putting in on all of the frames. So I need to harvest my queen cells. I'm actually going to split up my cell builder as well. And then go around and give cells to everybody. How's that sound? Sounds fun to me. Whew, forgive me while I take a seat here. That was a lot. So I made all my splits, made use of all of my queen cells. In addition to all the queen cells, broke down my cell builder into 2 Walkaway splits because they had really good age-appropriate resources. And those 2 Walkaway splits are probably on par, or honestly even a little bit stronger of a split than the ones that I gave the cells to. The ones that I gave the cells to, they're pretty small splits. They're 3 frames of bees, 2 frames of brood, 1 frame of food. Although those splits did also get a little bit of sugar feed as well. I didn't want to cap off those in-frame feeders all the way because they don't have all the bees for all the defense. So I don't want there to be robbing. I want to make sure that the robbing is kept at bay. That's also another reason why I decided to make sure to keep the in-frame feeder all the way over to the side, which is the opposite side of where I keep the entrance on the entrance reducers. So just trying to keep the bees secure in their new home. We are going to see, I'm very curious to see how much drifting is going to go on over the next few days. But yeah, so 15 queen cells, 2 splits. I've done some walkaway splits. I've done some walkaway splits before. Full hive count as of right now at Memorial Day 2026, 32. Started at 10, I'm at 32. Sounds great, but, fingers crossed, because with all these splits and the queen cells and everything else, you guys know, those queens got to hatch, they got to fly, they got to mate, they got to come back, they got to be good layers, all that stuff. There's a lot that can go wrong between here and now. So out of the 32, how many will I have in 3 weeks when I check them? I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully, I have enough that come back and are good, and then on these splits, I can split from again. Therefore, I can recover any losses. And what I want to do is I really want to get that number up to about 35, and I want to have some resource hives on top of that, some insurance hives. So I'd like to have at least 5 or 6 insurance hives too. That way, if I have an issue, if I need to replace one of my own queens, you guys know the story. You know how it is. You know why I want to do those things. But I'm all pretty stoked. These 4 hives that are behind me are technically empty. I just had the equipment on the trailer, so I figured I'd set them up and leave them here. Everything's all blocked off. No rodents or anything can get in. No bees can get in. That also means no swarms can get in. They're going to have to go across the yard and use my swarm trap. I've never actually successfully caught a swarm, so we'll see if that happens. I think one of my hives leading up to this week did swarm. There was another one of my hives that wasn't doing well, and they definitely had a supersedure plan because there was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 hatched or eliminated super seizure cells. The first virgin probably came out and eliminated the others. They seem to be doing okay, so I got them marked. I'll check them as well in another couple of weeks. But all of these splits, I'm going to be checking in 3 weeks. The 2 walkaways that I made, I kind of really need to give them about 5 weeks on that, because they have to have time to make the queen cell, and then she's got to, cook, emerge, do all the things that all the other queens are doing. Don't do it. I took my my nitrile gloves off to let my hands breathe some, and I'm just waiting for one of these ladies to come give me a butt kiss. But no, so feed is on everybody. I'm also going to be setting up far away. I do a community feeder as well. Everything that I put a medium on, that is now a hive and a half, I filled that in-frame hive feeder up all the way. Those were all the hives that I took splits from. And as I'm doing that, I'm putting on that medium, so they're going to be a hive and a half. And that's the configuration I'd like to go into winter with, as many of these as possible. But if you remember, my original goal this year was to take my 10 hives, make 30 plus, whatever I could make. And then I also wanted to have those original 10 hives still be my production hives as well. Well, I've had a couple of problems, so I only have hive and a halves on 8 of these right now. So hopefully they'll get up there. I did check a few of those medium supers, and they are starting to draw white wax, new wax on those, so that's good. So hopefully by the time the real nectar flow starts to hit soon, which should be happening in about 3 or 4 weeks, is that going to be long enough for them to then be able to go up into a honey super? Because you got to think too, the queen's gonna lay in those. They're gonna want to pack those with stores too. So like as I've known and expressed this whole time, I'm asking a lot from my bees this year. But I think together we'll figure it out. 3 weeks from now, we'll see. You think I'll still have 32? What's your guess? I hope so. I hope I own, obviously I hope for 100% success, don't we all? That would be nice. But if I could get 75 plus, 80 plus, that'd be sweet. Other than that, any other news? Yeah, there is news. You know what? I've been filling a whole bunch of honey jars, and I've been labeling a whole bunch of my products, my lip balms and all that stuff, getting a bunch of boxes ready. Because I got my first farmer's market coming up on June 6th up in Pittsfield, New Hampshire. The woman that runs the store local is going to be running a farmer's market there on Saturday. I believe it's from 9:30 to 3:30, and I'm going to be one of the vendors up there. So that's going to be pretty sweet. The day prior, I'm going to be going out on a field trip with the kiddo. Then I got poker night. Then I got a farmer's market. So I am going to be very tired, but I'll have a smile on because I'm going to be talking about bees and slinging honey. So it doesn't get any better than that. This will actually be my very first farmer's market. I probably already said that. I'm a little loopy because I did not bring any water out here today. But one of my big business goals for myself this year, in addition to all these expansions and getting retailers and all that stuff, was go to a farmer's market at least once, because I wanted to see how I like it. I think I'll do fine. I used to sell island activities out in Hawaii back in my younger years. So I have no problem sitting at a table and talking to people about things that they already want to purchase to begin with. Because who doesn't want honey? You don't accidentally walk up to a beekeeper to learn about their product. Everybody knows what honey is. So anyway, man, the bees are going nuts. Like I said too before this, it's been raining a day and a half. So not only are they happy to go outside, now they're happy to go outside and they're super confused. Where the hell are we? This was basically Tokyo and I was Godzilla. I just destroyed their life and now they're trying to figure out how to remake it. But I hope everybody had a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend. Until I talk to you again, be well, Forge on.